Hey guys, BadInfos here, and these are the 10 best cutscenes in GTA Vice City stories. Making this list was pretty difficult considering how many great cutscenes there are in this game. I'm talking 15, even 20 other cutscenes could have nicely fit in with the rest. However, this is a top 10 video and only 10 are included. The list is opinion based of course, and if you disagree let me know what your list looks like. So, without further ado, let's begin with the cutscenes. Divorce for Louise. At the end of the game you hear Louise talk about her sister all the time. You anticipate meeting her, thinking that she would be this gorgeous young woman just like Louise. Well, in Divorce you meet her and you realize how wrong you were. It's not the hot blonde chick you anticipated.
It's nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you.
Instead you see this sex-deprived beast waiting to unleash its claws and pull you into its clutches. Mary Jo is a very funny character who just wants some attention, which is never given to her. She wants it so bad that she would even be okay with getting kidnapped by the most dangerous person she knows, Marty.
Yeah, but he wanted to turn me out too. I promise you he did.
Everyone wants her sister instead, and that's how it's probably always been. I feel bad for her, but that doesn't stop me from laughing hysterically at this cutscene. Blitzkrieg Strikes Again by Lance. The cutscene starts with her first ally and friend in the game, Phil. You don't expect this because he disappeared a while ago after we completed his missions. As always, he's very enthusiastic and ready to shoot somebody. Typical Phil.
I heard there's gonna be a party, so I brought fireworks!
Where's Lance?
Later on, a second very important person and personal friend to Vic arrived. The one and only Umberto Robina, who, as you would guess, talks about Vic's balls.
What's up, man?
Your brother, man. At least one of you has something up here and a lot down here.
Why are they both here though? What's so urgent and why are they loaded? Well, Lance finally in his life did something right. He rounded up some homies for one final showdown with the Mendes brothers. Always before this, Lance has been nothing but trouble, until this point. This is not the only reason why this cutscene is on the list. It's because of one of the best quotes in the game. Just listen to this.
Hello, Mr. M4! M4! Motherfucker!
How does he even come up with this stuff? I would never know. Kill Phil Part 2 for Rennie. Ah, Rennie, this creature is why I love this game so much. Always flirting, always excited, always giggling.
Well, I'm more worried about someone blowing me away.
Oh, this talk of blowing!
Oh, her cutscenes are amazing. Absolutely every time I see her, I smile and laugh. Well, this cutscene is no exception. Not only does she flirt with Phil Collins, but she confesses something intimate. Something which should not have been known, according to Barry. Their relationship back in Monaco.
Last year in Monaco.
What?
Too much champagne.
No, there wasn't.
Too much love in the air.
No, there wasn't. You better shoot it.
No matter how much you deny it, Barry, we all know the truth. The way he tries to disprove of this fact is what makes it so funny for me. You better shoot it was his best comeback. We all saw through his lies. The next funny and awkward scene is when Barry asks Phil if they are safe. And of course, you know what Barry would answer, but Vic confirms Phil's suspicions.
Vic, would I lie to him?
Probably.
Barry is not that trustworthy and Phil knows that very well. To top it all off, the jokes about his love trip to Monaco continue.
Hey, I wasn't the one finding true love in Monaco.
Oh, shut it.
Turn on, turn in, bug out for Lance. The shortest cutscene on the list, but definitely deserves a spot on it. Lance is known to cause problems all the time. He lost our coke, lost lots of money, and we almost lost our lives. Well, here the tables have turned. It is Vic who is in the wrong. Lance tries to keep Vic quiet, but Vic being a
Stupid gorilla!
he doesn't get the hint and keeps talking loudly. Well, until Lance flips out and screams all about their place being bugged.
Will you shut up, you stupid gorilla? The place is bugged! The DA is on to us! Happy now!
Here's a thought, Lance. Instead of screaming it so loud, you could have whispered it to him and told him what was going on. I would have probably done the same thing though. Vic could be a handful too sometimes. Truck Stop by Phil. The cutscene begins with two important characters. One mentally challenged and the other is called Phil. Well, Jerry, as he calls himself, is happy to see me, despite how he ruined my life in the introduction missions. He is still the same jerk as before.
Thing is, you work for Phil, and Phil works for me, which makes you my bitch's bitch. Figure that out.
Arrogant, know-it-all nobody who is only looking out for himself. This right here, however, makes a lot of sense. No matter how much you deny it, Vic, is how things are. What I love about this cutscene in particular is the change in character of Jerry. We are used to seeing his weird side. Watching animal porn, cracking inappropriate jokes, and being the happy-go-lucky guy we all know and hate. However, here we saw his other, more serious side too.
Hey, change the record, baby. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. What did you expect me to do, huh? I didn't screw you over for fun. I was saving myself, and you would do the same, and don't pretend otherwise.
The conversation, starting off in a joking fashion, quickly turned into something serious. His voice and way of speaking changed. We saw the business side of him and saw his intentions when he double-crossed me. Accidents will happen for Rennie. Here we go again, the goddess of show business. Rennie blessed our hearts with another appearance on this list.
Man, woman, and me, I smash them together.
This is our first introduction to her, or him. You actually probably don't know what it is when you first see her, it. Rennie kind of explains it here though.
Whatever you say, mister, lady,
Oh, darling, I'm a little bit of everything. I'm universal.
So both genders are fine. The constant flirting was the best part of this cutscene. It seemed like Rennie did everything in her power to get closer and closer to me.
Save me!
Hey, get off!
Then save me!
Wait, what do you need?
Just a driver.
Ending up inches away from the good stuff. Umberto is probably jealous. Conduct Unbecoming by Jerry. Here we go again. The mentally handicapped dude is high again. When he's so happy, it makes me personally happy as well. Don't look at Vic. He has no sense of humor. He lives in the past, where only misery is found. Jerry has the right idea, well, to an extent. He is, as he puts it...
I'm shitting with you, come on, having fun, rock and roll!
Well, the fun stops when he starts talking about animal porn. Really, Jerry? How do you get off from that?
Ooh, now she got a pig and a horse.
He said it himself, he needs to get laid, big time.
Man, I gotta get laid. Oh, jeez, hey. If you weren't such a square, I'd do you, huh?
And of course, it's Vic's job to get him some hump material. Jerry, despite being one of, if not the worst person in the game, I still love his cutscenes and his sense of humor. In the Air Tonight by Rennie, hands down the most iconic cutscene in the game. Immediately once you hear this song on the radio, YouTube, TV or anywhere else, you would think about GTA Vice City stories. This song feels like it's made for this game. It's greatly executed with great animations, and the stage looks great too. The only problem with a cutscene like this is that it's very long. So the developers had the great idea to split it up. You get a small portion of the cutscene, do some gameplay, get back to Phil Collins and back onto some killing again. It breaks the monotony and makes a perfect transition from gameplay to static viewing. The fact that this is one of my favorite songs of all time also propelled the cutscene this high on the list. Light My Fire for Lance. Don't worry guys, it's not the opening one, definitely not. That one is nothing special. You see Lance and Vic talking about Louise. Nothing unusual, we have seen that so many times. What's on the list however is the closing cutscene of this same mission. After defeating one of the Mendes brothers, you go and check on Louise. Well, you were too late. She, along with Lance, are both on the floor about to die. The love of Vic's life is barely able to breathe, covered in blood.
We could have had something special.
They exchange some words and poof, she is gone. This is one of the most powerful cutscenes in the whole franchise. We have seen other deaths before and they were not this fleshed out. We didn't see close-ups, that much blood, and didn't hear such words being said by the characters. What would have made this cutscene my favorite of all time would have been if someone more important died. I, for instance, am not a big fan of Louise, so if someone like Rainy or Umberto died, then I would be devastated. This one also hit me hard though, because I know how much Vic loved her. And guess whose fault it is? The nobody on the floor, who could have had the same fate. Vic showed no love to Lance, and honestly, that's well deserved. If it wasn't for him, this would not have happened. Having a Good Time by Umberto Robina. You cannot have a top 10 video without a cutscene by Umberto. He, along with Rennie, crack me up every time they open their mouths. This mission has it all. It has stupidity.
Are you man? Yeah! Then why you not like balls?
Jokes.
Oh man, he's certainly full of balls.
Seriousness.
Someone's gotta teach these cholos a lesson. I guess I have to go. Alone.
My favorite word, mank.
I'm up for anything, man. I just don't want to have to take my balls out again.
And the best of all, Umberto's signature word, his cojones.
You know I ain't scared of nobody.
So show him your balls.
Only this time it's not about only his balls, but the balls of everyone else in the room. Umberto seems to be fascinated with testicles because every opportunity he gets, he mentions them. I think that if he ever meets Carolina, they would be a perfect match. I wonder how these guys are still a part of his gang if they have to show their balls all the time. They clearly look uncomfortable and Umberto does not get it. This is the funniest cutscene in the game. And those were the 10 best cutscenes in GTA Vice City Stories in my opinion. I would love to hear your opinion. Which one do you like the most? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like. And if you didn't, then a dislike is fine too. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next top 10 video.